What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. As you can see right now, I'm actually traveling right now and I'm super excited because this is actually my first time in the Philippines. I already was in Metro Manila and now I'm in El Nido Palawan Islands and it's been absolutely amazing so far. I've been here for about a few days now and I brought my DJI Air 3 as well as my 7-inch FPV drone. As you can see right here, and I've been getting some really awesome shots with the Air 3 so far. I already got some really sick urban shots in Metro Manila. Already got some really nice sunset shots around the Palawan Islands. And just now I switched locations yet again. Right now we're staying more at the central main El Nido part. And yeah, as you can see, the views here are absolutely amazing. And I really like this place because there's so many beaches that are low key. For example, like when you're in the US, like usually every beach you go to is freaking packed. But here, there's so many options. There's so many beaches that right now there's this really cool beach right here and it's super low key. And you guys know me, I really like to be kind of in my own space, especially when I'm flying FPV. I finally feel like I'm in the right headspace today to really fly some FPV and really let loose. And that's super important with FPV because they're not like Mavics. They don't just come back to you when you lose connection, and they don't have obstacle avoidance sensors. So that's why you really have to be sharp. It's kind of like being a fighter pilot like in Top Gun. You really have to be sharp, eat healthy, be nice and fit both physically and mentally to really get some good shots. So basically the sun is gonna set in about 30 minutes here. I made sure to get here nice and early, which is awesome. Have my FPV here. I also have my Air 3 in case I wanna do some super long range because the Air 3 can go really far. I think the 7-inch can also go really far. My plan is to mostly kind of cruise around this kind of bay over here, do some cool kind of like proximity stuff around those boats there. And if I'm feeling confident, I might dive that mountain over there. And last but not least, of course, I have the GoPro Hero 11 here. My favorite kind of small FPV drone camera right now. Go ahead and dial in our settings right now. I might actually just take off this ND filter. I don't think I'm gonna need any ND right now. The sun is starting to set now. Yep, that looks pretty good, honestly. And yeah, last but not least, all we need is our LiPo. Let's get it. All right guys, I'm a little bit nervous right now. Haven't flown FPV in a while, but here goes nothing, man. It's always a good idea to make sure wipe off your goggles before you fly. Don't want anything going in your eyes. All right guys, let's do this. All right guys, as you can see right now, I'm just kind of taking it chill right now. I'm not trying to push the range too far because since I traveled with this drone, I just want to make sure everything's all working properly, making sure that my antennas are all good, my battery's good, and also keep in mind that this is a new remote controller actually, so this is not necessarily like battle tested yet, so that's why I'm just trying to fly conservatively. That's cool. There's a lot of beach people over there in the pool. But yeah, as I get more comfortable, as you can see, I'm just able to more relax a little bit, let loose, and really just starting to trust the gear, you know. Because right now I'm definitely kind of nervous because I haven't flown FPV for a week or two, a little bit rusty maybe, but you just gotta have faith in your skills. I am really starting to like this controller actually because it feels just like the TX16S, but just way lighter and just way more minimalistic, you know. I don't even need the big screen on the TX16S, so it's just a nice stripped down, travel-friendly version of the TX16S, so that's great. But yeah, as you can see guys, as this flight continues, it's been about 7 minutes now, I'm really just starting to get more comfortable, get more confident in the drone, and being a little bit more risky with my shots, you know, going a little bit farther, maybe hitting a little bit more gaps, but yeah, so far the 7-inch is doing absolutely great right now. All right guys, as you can see, this is my second battery now, and definitely feel much more confident in the drone now. After that first flight, you know, everything's all good now. and now I can really start to get the shots I want to get. For example, I've been really wanting to do a lot of like mountain diving because that's really unique to FPV. You can't really dive with an Air 3 or a Mavic. So I'm gonna start up here and just dive this mountain. I like FPV because it's just a lot more of a challenge than flying a Mavic or an Air, because those drones literally just fly themselves, you know, but FPV just requires so much more skill. It requires so much more preparation, and I just feel way more nervous doing it, and I really like that excitement, you know, like it feels very exciting. And once you do a successful mission, like it feels so satisfying to just come home with awesome footage and not crashing your drone. So that's why FPV is just so much more rewarding, honestly. And of course, you're able to just get way more dynamic and awesome shots. My connection is dropping a little bit, probably down. It dropped the lowest about 15 megabits, but what's most important is that I never actually lose image transmission. I found on the V2 goggles, like I would literally just completely lose signal sometimes, which is obviously extremely sketchy. So the goggles 2 is definitely worth it. I've never had any complete drops in signal. Like at most, it'll just drop down to like 10 or 5 megabits, but you'll lose a lot of the quality, but at least you'll still have a live picture, you know, and that's what's important. Whew. All right, guys, so overall, super successful 2 batteries right there. That was really awesome. And like I mentioned earlier, this is why I love FPV, because it really just gives you that adrenaline rush, you know, like obviously I could have flown my Air 3 today and I would have got some pretty cool shots, you know, like I'm in the Palawan Islands at golden hour, you know, like it's not going to look bad, you know, but and it is just kind of boring, and it is kind of stale, you know, it kind of gets old after a while, you know. So that's why I think it's such a good combo to bring, because when I really have the space and the time and I'm really in the right mindset to fly FPV, it's there, you know. I brought the 7-inch with me and I'm able to get really awesome dynamic shots. However, when I feel like the vibe just isn't there and I feel like just chilling and flying the Air 3, that's also there as well, because of course line of sight drones also have their purpose, you know. So that's why it's just such a good combo. It's so synergistic. It's like yin and yang, and that's why I love bringing both of these drones when I travel. Of course, the 7-inch is just a lot more work to travel with, you know. I have to bring basically double of everything, you know, 2 remote controllers, I have to bring my goggles, all these extra batteries, but in the end, it's definitely worth it, because this is why I love drone filmmaking, because I'm able to go to these awesome locations. And let's be honest, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna be in El Nido is, you know, like this is legit all the way across the world from where I live. Like it was like a 13, 14, 16 hour flight, you know? So I don't know the next time I'm gonna be here. I definitely wanna come back here. It's so beautiful, but there's so many other places in the world to visit as well. And that's why I love drone filmmaking, because when I look around, you know, everyone is filming, you know, with their iPhones, with their pockets, with their GoPros. People have minis and stuff, but in the end, when you're a drone filmmaker, as well as a traditional filmmaker, I'm able to really craft my look and get really cool shots. So yeah, I'm gonna be here for a few more days in El Nido. Then I'm going back to Metro Manila, but I'm gonna keep trying to get awesome shots for you guys and keep documenting. So I'm gonna pack up now and head back to the hotel and enjoy my evening in El Nido. Let's do it. All right, what's up? What's up, guys? So right now we're at a place called Big Lagoon, and it's super awesome here. There's like a nice little valley of water where people go kayaking, and honestly, I'm feeling pretty ballsy right now. I'm feeling confident, so I'm gonna launch the 7-inch FPV. I brought this guy as well as the Air 3. But yeah, I really want to get as much FPV shot before I go, because this is my last full day here actually. So feeling pretty confident, guys. Wish me luck. I'm gonna launch this guy and try to do some cliff diving down here and show you guys what this area is like. So let's set this bad boy up now. The one challenge I am worried about is launching from a boat. I haven't launched from a boat too many times, but honestly, I feel like FPV is easier to land on a boat because you're able to just disarm it and it can drop. With the Mavic, like it really has to be perfect before it goes down. And if anything moves during that moment when it's landing, you could potentially lose it in the water. So I think FPV is actually safer to launch and land from a boat actually. I know I'm a little bit nervous though because I haven't done it, but I'm pretty confident I could do it pretty well. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that as well. So let's go. Sorry. Alright guys, so I just did my first pack with the FPV and overall it went pretty okay, you know, it was really fun. But one thing that concerned me was the connection a little bit. Like I was noticing that even though I still had a full 50 megabits or 40 megabits, the image transmission felt like a little bit choppy, you know? And it felt a little bit kind of unreliable, and that feels kind of sketch because I'm flying over water here. I'm legit taking off from a boat, and in addition, it does feel a little bit sketch because like as I'm flying, like the whole boat is moving, so I'm not as confident as I would be if I took off from like a beach or something. But overall, I got some pretty good shots. You know, I dove the cliff over here. I did some really cool proximity shots around these boats here. But I do want to get one flight in with the Air 3 now, because over in this direction, that's where the main lagoon is. It's like a nice little canyon of water, and I wasn't able to go pretty low. Like, my goal was to get a nice low shot through the lagoon, but I wasn't able to do that on the 7-inch because I'm actually worried that I'm gonna lose connection, because there's like legit a huge freaking rock right in between me and my line of sight. So I'm pretty sure that if I tried to go low through the lagoon, I would definitely lose connection. I think the Air 3 is gonna be really awesome because I got that AccuSync 4 transmission, and also I got that smart return to home even if I do lose connection. So even if the rock is between me and I lose connection, it's just gonna go up and then come back to me. So that's gonna be awesome. But yeah, overall, yeah, that's why it's really important to have different types of drones, because there's different types of drones for different jobs, because definitely some pretty risky stuff, but very fun though. So let's put up the Air 3 now and try to get some shots of the lagoon now. Let's do it. Alright guys, so next, you guys know me, I love doing line of sight too. Like, although I love FPV flying, I love some good line of sight shots. So right now, I'm gonna try to bring the drone closer to me and then try to get some more proximity shots next to the rocks and stuff. By keeping a nice visual line of sight on the Air 3, I think I can get some really cool shots with some really nice foreground and some cool elements going on. So let's bring this guy back now. Alright, yo guys, so right now I'm still in El Nido. I'm gonna be here for about 2 more days. Right now I'm just chilling right now. I have a little bit of downtime before I transfer to my next hotel. It's just a little bit like 5 minutes down the coastline on a different beach, but still same area. But overall, I've been having a ton of fun here. I've been both enjoying, relaxing, but also getting a ton of drone shots. And right now, I just want to take a minute to reflect and kind of share with you guys some tips on my workflow on making these really sick drone travel videos. And one thing I want to talk about is, I think it's important to just really have fun flying just for the sake of flying, you know? Especially when it comes to FPV, especially. This doesn't really apply so much to the Mavic type flying, but especially with FPV, I think it's so important to really kind of be in the right mindset, and you can't just get there magically. Like, what I mean by the right mindset is by being confident. And in order to do that, you have to practice a lot. So once I got here to the Philippines, like, I was a little bit hesitant to take out the FPV because I'm in an unfamiliar place and stuff, but once I got here to the Palawan Islands, I definitely let loose a little bit because it feels a lot safer here. There's just a ton of tourists here, and just people are super friendly here, and there's a lot of open space to just fly. So ever since I got here to the El Nido Palawan Islands, I've been flying a bunch, and I think it's really important to just fly at any time of day when you have free time, because at least for me, like I kind of feel this pressure to always be flying at the perfect lighting hour, you know, like I want to be flying right at sunrise or right at sunset, right at blue hour. But to be honest, in the whole scheme of the whole day, like blue hour is only like an hour out of the whole like 10 hours of daylight, you know? So that's why even like at a time like this, it's midday right now, it's like 11 a.m. I think it's really important to just fly, you know, because of course the lighting isn't going to be as cinematic as it is at blue hour and sunset, but by being able to just fly around here, really just getting your hours in, getting your confidence back, it really makes all of your shots better, because not only can I still use these cool shots I got here at midday, I'm able to bring that confidence, bring that, you know, that practice to me now in the evening when it's blue hour. I'm gonna be all warmed up. I'm gonna be ready to go to get those really awesome shots when the lighting is absolutely perfect. And another thing I want to talk about is being able to just trust your gear, because by practicing at midday, by flying a few packs, you're able to really get used to your gear and really know its limits. And I know I talk about this all the time on the channel, but with FPV it's so important because we don't have those same safety features and that reliability as the Mavic drones. But the more you get to know your FPV drone, the farther you can take it. For example, the first day I got here, I launched from over there at blue hour, and that was my first FPV flight in the Philippines. So I was a little bit hesitant. I wasn't really sure how the connection was going to be. I was a little bit concerned about the condition of my drone since I packed it up so many times, traveled around with it so many times. But by being able to just fly a few packs right now, for example, I just flew like 3 packs just now at midday, I'm able to really test the range of it and really understand its capabilities and its limits. Like for example, that first day I was here, I was kind of scared to fly and dive that mountain just because I was kind of worried about the connection, my battery life, etc. But after flying a few packs here at El Nido, and this morning I was able to just confidently fly all the way to that mountain over there, and actually I dove it a few times and it was super fun. It was really awesome actually. And yeah, these are the kind of things that are important, because now I know at blue hour when I'm on limited time and when I'm in a pressure environment, I know that I can take my drone super far and dive a mountain if I want to, because you guys know me, I'm always trying to find the most comfortable, most low-key position I can launch from. But now that I know the limits of my drone and how far it can go, I can legit launch comfortably from pretty far away, because I mean, there's a reason why these drones are called long-range drones. I mean, you can take them super far. Like, yeah, overall, just want to do a quick check-in, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna head out to the next hotel now, and I'm definitely gonna try to hit another sunset spot this evening, because I only have 2 more days here, so I definitely want to maximize the amount of shots I can get, because I really want to make an awesome edit for you guys on YouTube and on my Instagram. So, all right, guys, let's get out of here. What's up, guys? So right now we're at a new spot today, and I really like this spot. Like right now I'm at the top of this mountain here, and there's a really cool tree canopy surrounding this viewpoint here. I've honestly never seen anything like it. Like, I was honestly hoping for there to be no trees so I could have a really nice line of sight, so I could send my 7-inch all the way down there to the beach, because my plan with today was to really kind of switch it up and try to get some more shots of the nature area, you know? I've already gotten so many shots of the beaches, the water, the islands. I really wanted to add some more diversity to my footage by doing some really cool flyovers on the tree canopy. So that's the main reason why I came here. So one tip I have for you guys when you're traveling is it's really good to kind of mix up your kind of shots and mix up your locations, most importantly, because when I watch a lot of drone shots, I feel like when people make these drone videos, like everything kind of looks the same lighting, similar locations. But I feel like what makes a good film by any means, whether it's a drone film or a regular film, is diversity, you know? Like when you watch the greats, you know, great movies, there's so many different types of scenes, you know, daytime, nighttime, emotional, you know, there's just so many different types of emotions you're feeling, both through the visuals and obviously the characters as well. But with drone flying, obviously it's mostly just kind of environment. So that's why it's a little bit easier for us. So that's why I think it's so important to always try to find new locations. Like I already got so many shots of the beaches here, the islands. That's why when I was looking for new locations today, I wanted to find something a little bit different. I was like, it might look pretty sick to get some more cool canopy type shots of the forest here, because not only is El Nido, the Palawan island, known for its beaches, but it's super tropical here. You know, like there's so many jungles here. Like there's legit monkeys in the forest here right now. And yeah, I mean, it's just such a great place to fly. So I'm a little bit nervous, of course, but that's why I'm gonna take a breather, you know, take my time to set up my drone, you know, drink some water, relax a little bit, make sure I'm all ready to go. And then I'm gonna put this guy up and probably fly around 2 packs. Then I'm gonna head out of here and then save my other 2 packs for some more sunset flying at Blue Hour, because obviously Blue Hour is the dopest time to fly at. So let's do it. So when I'm traveling with such a big drone, I do think it's kind of a good idea to be able to strip it down when you're kind of transporting it, because obviously I could leave the propellers on, but I think it's just safer for the drone and safer for you. And it's just better in general to be able to strip it down, put the propellers away, take off the antennas, because it's going to prevent your drone from getting damaged. And that's really important, because I can't count how many times I've already packed up and changed locations. Like I keep changing hotels, I go on boats, planes, trains, cars, motorcycles. I keep changing locations. So by being able to strip it down, it's just a lot easier for everything. So that's why it's really important to get like a prop tool like this, so you can bring it on the airplane. Super small, super lightweight. So we're all good to go here. You always want to take your time with setting up your drone, because I feel like that's when crashes happen, when you're stressed out, when you're rushing it. So always take your time, you know, when you're setting up, you know, make sure everything's all good to go, because any small thing can cause you to crash, you know, like if you don't secure your battery strap correctly, this thing can get damaged here. Maybe the strap will come undone and you might go down because the propellers are gonna get trapped. So really just take your time when you're setting up, you know, it's no rush. That's why, like I said, it's always important to get to the spot early. You never want to feel rushed by the lighting, you know. Obviously, you do want to be kind of fast and efficient, because around Blue Hour, the sun sets pretty fast, but with practice, you kind of get more efficient and faster. But especially when you're starting out, just take your time. Especially because right now we have a ton of light, you know. The sun has about a few more hours of light left, so we're totally good right now. All right guys, so I just finished my first flight here, and honestly, I think I'm just gonna do one pack now because the sun's going down now and I kind of want to head out of here and probably get some more shots at blue hour at a different location. But overall, I learned a lot from this flight, and that's why I always tell you guys to always try to go out of your comfort zone, always try to fly in new locations, because as I mentioned earlier, I'm so used to just doing like regular long range in really vast areas, but flying in a really kind of close proximity place like this really kind of forces you to be better and stay really locked in, because there's so many trees here, and if I just hit one tree, I would have gone down, and it would have been really hard to retrieve the drone actually, because it's really, really thick jungle here. It would have been an absolute nightmare to try to get my drone back if I crashed even just like right over there. So that's why it really forced me to be super locked in, really made me be focused and fly super precisely. And that was really awesome. Another thing I learned flying in this kind of environment is there's a huge difference in lighting between flying inside the canopy here versus out there. And that's why it's really important to set your GoPro to probably like an automatic shutter, because if you don't do that, it's gonna be, you know, well exposed in here, but then when you go outside of the canopy over there, it was way too bright. So having the auto shutter was great on the GoPro. However, on my goggles, I'm not a huge fan of the auto shutter. I find that DJI's auto shutter is not really fast enough and it could actually cause you to crash. So I decided actually to set my shutter to manual, my exposure to manual on the goggles too. So when I was flying inside this dark area, it was nice and well lit, because I know that all of the most dangerous obstacles are gonna be inside here. This is where all the tree branches are and stuff. And that's why having it on manual was so important, because if I had it on auto on the goggles too, I might experience something where I fly out over there into the sun. It's gonna be good, you know, but when I come in here, it's not gonna adjust fast enough and it's actually gonna be too dark and I'm gonna crash into a tree. So I decided to kind of sacrifice my exposure outside, because it was really, really bright when I went out there. But once I'm out there, it's pretty safe, you know? I wasn't really trying to fly too low. There's not too many obstacles out there. And I really wanted to make sure that when I was flying in here, I had the best vision possible. So that's one thing to note. And lastly, one thing to note is I was actually really impressed with the connection on the goggles too. Like I kind of anticipated to have like kind of low connection once I flew out from these trees, but I was actually able to go pretty far, and it only dipped to probably around like 40, maybe 35 megabits. Honestly, if I was feeling super ballsy, I probably could have flown all the way to the beach and stuff. But honestly, like I'm kind of more of a calculated pilot. Like maybe tomorrow it might be more risky, but personally, if I'm gonna fly the coast area along those treetops over there, I prefer to go to a different location just to play it safe without having all these trees kind of blocking me. But overall, I was actually really impressed with the connection. And like I said, I probably could have flown actually all the way over there, because in the end, the O3 Air unit is pretty much the same system as the Mavic 3 system and pretty similar to the Air 3. The Air 3 has the O4 transmission, but that's one thing to note is that even though it's an FPV drone, its technology for transmission is just like the Mavics. I know it doesn't have those return to home features and it's not as smart, but honestly, the connection is there. And yeah, I was actually really impressed. Like I was able to go pretty far, and I'm actually pretty happy with the shots I got. Obviously, I would have preferred for there to be less trees so I could have flown this whole vast area, but always go with the flow, you know, give what your environment gives you, you know, try to work with what you got. But overall, pretty happy with the shots now. Yeah, learned a few things from this flight. That was a really good learning experience, great practice. And now I'm gonna head out probably to the coastline and get some more blue hour shots or whatever we get. So let's get out of here. Alright guys, so you probably are going to watch this video in order because of course I want to show El Nido first. However, I do want to show you guys kind of behind the scenes of what I'm up to in the rest of the Philippines as well. So actually, let's go back in time a little bit. I legit just touched down in Manila, Philippines. This is legit my first time in the Philippines actually. Like, my dad goes all the time. He's told me so many great things about it, but I can't believe I'm here. I'm gonna be here for the next 2 weeks and we got a few pretty cool locations planned out. So right now, I'm just gonna spend a few days in Manila area, the Quezon City. It's very urban here. And then obviously I'm gonna be going to El Nido, which is the Palawan Islands. And that's really gonna be the highlight of the trip because I've seen pictures and footage of that place already. It legit looks like drone heaven. And that's why actually I brought my 7-inch FPV all the way from California with me. I brought my GoPro Hero 11. I brought my new Radiomaster Boxer, my goggles too, because that place just looks like honestly one of the most beautiful, most breathtaking places I've ever had the chance to fly at. And so that's why I really wanted to come prepared. Brought my 7-inch, brought my Air 3 with me, had to fit everything all in that one low pro bag. So it was kind of a struggle to get all my gear all compact to go, but that's why every little gram matters. That's why the Air 3 came in clutch. That's why I bought a new Radiomaster Boxer compared to my old TX16S, because I really just want a nice light compact setup, and this is exactly what I got. I have a nice run and gun bag here, got my Air 3, got the ZVE1, so yeah, I'm just gonna take advantage of my time here, you know, try to check out a few different parks, maybe try to get some really nice sunset shots. Obviously, it's not gonna be as tropical and as amazing as El Nido. Obviously, you know, that's a very, very special, unique place, but I feel like every city has a story to tell. And I feel like as a drone pilot, you shouldn't get kind of deterred from the fact that there's a lot of other drone pilots and a lot of people probably already film the city you're staying in right now or you're going to. But the truth is, as a drone pilot, there's so much opportunity for you to really express yourself and really get shots that are unique to you and shots that you like. So that's why no matter where I'm at, I'm always gonna try to fly my drone. I don't care if there's already a million other YouTube videos of Manila. I'm gonna try to tell my own story. I'm gonna try to find my own spots, try to find my own lighting, pick my time of day very wisely, just always be shooting, but most importantly, just try to stay safe and try to find some good launching locations. So this hotel obviously right now isn't the most ideal launching spot. I'm probably just gonna go out there and, you know, find a nice park area and just launch the drone, because from what I heard from the Philippines, like anything goes, there's not really any drone laws here. And in the end, it is an Asian country. I mean, people like drones and they like technology here. So I don't assume I'm gonna have any problems here, which is why I'm really excited to fly here and yeah, just try to really find out what Manila is all about. So let's head out there and get some shots with the Air 3. Alright guys, so I know this is a long video, but I just got so much great footage in there and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys stayed all the way till the end, shout out to you guys. But right now for this final part, I really just want to wrap things up and kind of give a nice conclusion to kind of tie things together for this video. So originally for this video, it's supposed to be a homage to why the Air 3 and FPV as a combination is so useful and valuable. This video is not really supposed to be like Air 3 versus FPV, and I know that's pretty clickbaity, but honestly, like I think FPV plus Air 3 or Mavic, whatever, is such a great combination because you're really combining a traditional type of filmmaking with a more new and a more exciting type together. And what I mean by that is the Air 3 provides more of a like traditional kind of aerial look that we're all used to. Like, after watching decades of Hollywood movies, our eyes slowly get trained to certain types of camera movement. Like on Air 3, you're able to get really nice, smooth, like dolly shots in air, really cool kind of panning down shots, really smooth and slow kind of half orbit shots. And it does really well for those types of looks. Whereas the FPV drone, the 7-inch, provides a much more kind of like organic, much more free-flowing type movement, which I really like. And I know when you watch a lot of movies now, like a lot of people argue that FPV is like too nauseating, it's too new, it really takes you out of it. But honestly, I kind of disagree with that because it really depends on the shot. Like for example, like action scenes and action movies really do well with FPV, but in some ways they're right, because honestly, most of the times when you watch Netflix, when you watch movies like Dune 2, you're really presented with just a lot of these smooth camera movements, which I totally understand, and that's why just such a good combination together. But honestly, when I was looking back at all the footage from my Philippines trip, I noticed that the FPV footage, like especially at the Palawan Islands, like I honestly think that the colors and just the overall image quality looks better on the GoPro Hero 11 on the 7-inch FPV drone compared to the Air 3. Like when I'm just looking at the footage at the island, like something about the colors from the GoPro just look way more organic, just looks way more pleasing, whereas the Air 3 it looks like a little bit cold, a little bit stale. But that definitely depends on the lighting as well, because the Air 3 definitely did absolutely amazing at these city shots in Manila, as you guys can see right now. Like it really depends on the lighting, but the Air 3 really excels at golden hour and stuff. So I was really happy with that footage turned out. I strongly believe that when you combine a more traditional aerial platform, such as an Air 3 or Mavic, with a more newer and more exciting FPV drone, I think when you combine those together, it really allows you to create really awesome dynamic results. And it really allows you to create really cool immersive travel videos or whatever you want to film. And I think that this topic of conversation could really relate to the traditional filmmaking world as well, because when it comes to regular handheld cameras and stuff, people are always debating like, oh, what's the best movement? Is it handheld? Is it gimbal? Is it dollies? Is it a crane? Is it tripod? And honestly, what it comes down to is there's no one that's better than all the others. Like it really comes down to utilizing all of them together to create really immersive and really awesome films. Because when you watch all your favorite movies, all your favorite Netflix shows, if you just look at the sides of the frames and really just study it, you'll notice that they really combine everything. It just depends on the type of shot you're going for. Like for more exciting type shots and more immersive stuff, they'll do handheld or shoulder rig. But for more smooth or clinical shots to kind of give you that kind of God's eye, like really kind of like omniscient point of view, they'll use gimbals or cranes or steady cams. And yeah, if you want really, really precise shots, they'll probably use a dolly. Like it really just all depends what you're going for. And I think that combination of all of them really allows you to put together really awesome shots and make really cohesive pieces of work. And that's how I kind of compare the Air 3 and the FPV drone, because if I did this whole travel edit with just the Air 3, it might be kind of boring. And if I did the whole travel edit with just the FPV, I probably would have missed out on a lot of these cooler shots I got with the Air 3 as well. Because another thing I want to talk about is the form factor. The Air 3 is just so convenient to set up. Like all you need is just a drone and your controller, and you're all good to go. You can launch from anywhere. And that's why all these city shots were all Air 3, my mistake. Because the Air 3 is just so easy to set up. It's super low key. I don't need all the goggles. It's a lot safer to fly. And it's just really convenient. You can just pop it out anywhere. Whereas the FPV, you really got to be more mindful about it. You got to bring a whole backpack full of batteries, goggles, controllers, GoPros. Like you need so much more peripherals and accessories to fly the FPV. And that's why when you travel, having both drones were so amazing and clutch. Because honestly, yeah, if I didn't have an Air 3, I wouldn't be able to get all those city shots. Because when I was in Metro Manila, I was really limited on where I could take off. And also I want to be very responsible, because with drone filmmaking, compared to regular traditional filmmaking, you have to be responsible and really keep safety in mind, because you're launching this flying camera, this flying drone over cities, over people, and you really got to be careful and be responsible with that. Like, I don't think it's responsible to fly a 7-inch over Metro Manila, because if I lose connection, it's going to go down and might hit someone in the head. But the Air 3 is just way more reliable, way more stable, got those smart return to home features, and that's why I think the combo of these two drones were absolutely amazing. But overall, thank you guys for watching. If you made it all the way till the end, you're a real one. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned, guys. I got a lot more content coming up. It took me a while to put out these past few travel videos, but now that I'm all cut up now, I'm gonna try to put out some more awesome content for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to hit like, hit subscribe. Really helps on my channel. And if you guys want to connect with me, hit me up on IG at LuCeasonVisuals. See you guys on the next one.